Okay, so today we are going to discuss about how one can anyone can create account in UiPath and how to install UiPath Studio, Agent, and Orchestrator. So basically, in this video, we are going to cover for community version of. In this video, we are going to cover community version of installation for community version of UiPath. So for community version, we have a portal cloud.uipath.com. This portal is not only for community version, this is for cloud enterprise UiPath. Okay. So basically, we have to go to this URL cloud.uipath.com. So currently it's already logged in with my account. So that's why we directly logged in with to my orchestrator. So let me sign out so we can create a new account. Okay. Sign in another account. Okay. So basically, generally when you log in when you launch cloud.uipath.com, so this screen you will see login screen, we can see. And if we don't have account yet, okay, so we can sign up. We can click on sign up and we can create a new account in the UiPath. So let's click on continue with email. Okay, Sachin 1994 1@gmail.com. Let's try with this one. Okay, so once we enter the email ID and password, okay, then one email verification link will be sent to this email ID, and we have to click on that link, and once we verified, then we can log in by using this ID. Verified, okay. So basically, once email ID will be verified, we can see verification is completed, and then here is we have to enter the first name and last name of the user and the country region. Okay, so name of organization. So usually this UiPath account, usually who is going to use, some organization is going to use uh, for their automation in their organization, right? So uh, every organization should have a name, so we can also pass the name. So but we are using this one for learning purpose. Okay, so in this case we are going to just type test, means organization name as a test. Okay, so yeah, so now we can see we are in the automation cloud, basically automation cloud page. And here if we go through the URL, it's cloud.uipath.com, then test ekxbhmg underscore portal underscore home. So what it is basically, so this is nothing but some unique name. Okay, I will show you where this is. If we go to admin and organization settings, so here you can see the URL. So unique URL is get created because test me already exist. Some organization with test me already exists. So what UiPath is doing, UiPath is appending some key, some extra key just to make it unique. Okay, suppose the company name is Wipro. So Wipro means we can't create organization with like Wipro, right? Means we can't type Wipro here. Means if it is already present in the UiPath database. Okay, so we have to use some unique value here. So this can be changeable as well. Okay, so we can change to test 2022. You can try to do that. So we can change it. Okay, and let's try to save. Let's see if it is allowing or not. The site URL is unavailable, so it is already in use, so we cannot use. So for now, I'm not changing it. Okay, but that's the way. Basically, that's the thing. That's the nothing but the URL. That's the part of the URL. Okay, so this is if we click here, then we can navigate to our orchestrator. This is the orchestrator. So for community edition, we don't have to do any setup. Basically, for cloud enterprise, for cloud, okay, this is nothing but the cloud, cloud UiPath cloud, right? So for UiPath cloud, orchestrator is handled by UiPath itself. We don't have to do anything. Okay, we don't have to install any server. In our server, we don't have to install orchestrator. It is already hosted in UiPath's database. Okay, so now we already have the orchestrator. Setup is done. Okay, now we have the orchestrator. Now let's install Studio. So to install Studio, we have to download UiPath Studio, right? So UiPath Studio is downloading. I should have already downloaded one set of files, so I'm just going to run that. Yep, here it is. Okay. Now we have a means we will choose quick recommended by community user. If we are going for enterprise or advanced use, then we can select the custom one. But since we are the learner, we are just going to learn the automation. So we are going to select the quick recommended for community user. Let's accept all the terms and condition and click on install. ये clear है?
हाँ, yes.
Okay. थोड़ा सा मिस हो गया. Okay, so just now our installation is done, and we also clicked on the button for for the installation of Edge extension. So what is extension? Okay, here is a plugin, basically UiPath plugin. Okay, so by using this plugin, by using this extension, our UiPath is going to interact with this browser, Edge browser. So that's also get installed. When we try to install, we can also skip that part. Later later we can also install that, but it is better to install this this extension at the same time when we are installing the Studio. So let's go ahead and launch UiPath Studio. Okay, so this Studio is nothing but the desktop application. This one is the orchestrator, right? This is the orchestrator. This is web portal. This is hosted in a server, and this is a desktop application, right? Let me click on sign in button, so it will acquire the license. Allow. So we can see it's automatically taken the ID, same ID, which by using which ID we have created the account. And now it's asking for UiPath Studio or UiPath Studio X. So we have to select UiPath Studio because we are going to automate as a developer. We are going to learn automation for a developer level. This is for citizen. Citizen means who is the business user and they don't have knowledge of coding and all, and they just want to do some small automation, small task, not the automation task only, but that's a very small task, like updating Excel sheet, or just reading one Excel sheet and entering those data in a portal. Just a simple task, one step task. So those things can be done by UiPath Studio as a citizenship developer. But here we are the RPA developer. For the RPA or automation developer, okay, we should select UiPath Studio, because in UiPath Studio the framework is, you know, the large framework, I can say, as compare of uh, Studio X. In the Studio X, there is the framework is very limited. Okay, so this is the home screen for our Studio. So Studio got installed, and here we can see what's the version of the Studio. It's 2022.4.1. okay, and license is community license. Okay, and what about agent? So as we already discussed, we are having three component in UiPath: orchestrator, UiPath Studio, and UiPath assistant or robot agent. Means we can also call UiPath assistant as a robot agent, right? So out of three, we already installed orchestrator. We already have the orchestrator, right? It's hosted in a server, so we just have to log in. We installed UiPath Studio. What about UiPath Assistant? So if you search, you will see it's also installed. UiPath Assistant is also installed. So that comes with the package itself. When we selected community version, right, then in the same package, Studio is also there and Assistant is also there. For enterprise also same, both software comes in the same package. But sometimes we may get option to select, do we really want, do we only want to install Assistant, or do we also just want to do we want to install both Studio and Assistant? Okay, so yeah, let me launch Assistant. Yeah, here it is. So here we have UiPath Assistant. Yeah, so here we can see we have the connected and licensed, and here we have the user details, Sachin Singh. And if we click on the preferences, or if you click on this icon, we can also navigate to the UiPath orchestrator. That icon, this indicator, basically by clicking on this indicator, we can also navigate to orchestrator. So this is all about how we can install UiPath Studio in our machine.